Okay, folks, good evening and welcome to our podcast tonight with ex-Rangers reserve captain, now currently at Linfield, Cammy Palmer. Cam will be on soon, folks. If I can just get my phone. Sorry. Cam will be on soon, folks. Get your questions. See questions coming in already. Keep bringing your questions in. Obviously, Cammy had played at Rangers. Luckily enough, had a while under Steven Gerrard. Got released, come across to Linfield, and obviously, by all accounts, doing very well. Linfield, the Linfield faithful is very fond of Cammy, and by all accounts, I've heard a few saying if Cammy keeps playing the way he's playing, Cammy will be back across the water again. So hopefully, if I hit my button, Cammy should join me soon. I'm looking for him. Hi, Cammy.
Great.
Good, yeah. Thanks for coming on, Cammy. It's good to have you on, mate.
Great to be on.
Good. Cammy, obviously, I've taken some notes. Obviously, a bit of a born in York.
Yeah.
So, what's the connection to Northern Ireland then? Obviously, because you've been capped at Northern Ireland.
Yeah. Well, my dad was born in Belfast, so he grew up in Northern Ireland.
Okay.
So that's how I got to play with Northern Ireland, just through him.
Right.
I've gone up from 19s and now playing with the 21s.
Right. Okay. But then you grew up in Canada, Cammy.
Yeah. So I was born in York and then moved to Canada when I was, I think, about 8 months old. So all I can really remember when I was younger was Canada.
Okay.
So we lived there till 2010, I think, end of 2010, where we moved back to Glasgow. And then kind of been in Glasgow ever since I moved over here in January. So kind of been fair few places.
Right. Okay. And so, what age, Cammy, did obviously you sign for Rangers?
So when I came over to Glasgow, that's when Rangers were going into administration.
Right. Okay.
So I was on trial for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So a lot longer than I normally would. But I actually remember I couldn't go on one of the trips. They went to Italy or something just because there was like a certain amount of numbers, or just there was loads of complications with the club at the time. But yeah, I signed 6 months after I got there, so it must have been in the start of the year, 2011 or something. So
right. Okay. And so 2011 until 2020, basically 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, you signed for Rangers at what age? And you must have been real. You must have only been 10 or 11.
Yeah. At that age, everyone just kind of signs a similar contract. It's like an academy one. So that takes you till you're about 14, 15.
Yeah.
And then signed like my first full-time contract when I was 16. So that was great because obviously at that stage, like that's when some guys get released. That's when some guys go on. So it was great to kind of be training full time, and started to become a bit more real to me when.
So the Rangers pick you up. The Rangers pick you up from school then, Cammy?
No, well, one of my coaches over in Canada, his name's Andy Kennedy. He used to play with Rangers.
Right. Okay.
So when I was coming over, he contacted Rangers and basically just told them about me. So I literally I went on trial maybe a month after I came over to Glasgow. So I was quite fortunate I had that connection when I was coming over.
Yeah, okay. Well, Cam, there's a few questions coming in already. So there's one for you from Colin Stevenson. Who was your favourite player to have around the dressing room at Ibrox, Cammy?
So first team players?
Yeah, well, who were your players with, yeah?
Well, also just like when I was training with the first team or ever like in any squads, favorite players just like in terms of just getting along with was Scott Arfield and Glenn Kamara. Those guys, they welcomed me quite well and always chatted to me and took time out just to really get to know me instead of just see me as one of the younger boys and not really chatting to me. and obviously Scott Arfield with the Canada link. We had that.
That's right. Yeah.
But no, those guys were great, and I actually really got along well with them. So those were probably my favorite guys in around the dressing room.
Yeah, okay. Question from Kenzie Hamilton on YouTube. Your favourite goal you've scored in your career, Cammy?
There's not many to choose from.
How many have you scored for Linfield?
Well, I only scored one.
You only the one for Linfield?
Yeah, that one's up there. But I scored a goal over in America. We were playing the LA Galaxy, like the second LA Galaxy, and we were playing in the LA Galaxy Stadium actually, which was pretty amazing. And I scored the winner there. I think it kind of just fell to me edge of the box, and I just hit it and went in, and we ended up winning the game. So that was probably my best goal, but hopefully there's many more to come.
Yeah. Should be. So, Cammy, obviously, train obviously at Rangers. Your coach is then in the reserve. Obviously, you captained the reserves at Rangers. So, your coaches, who was coaching you at Rangers? And
Well, obviously, like I had loads of great coaches, kind of going through Rangers. But at reserves, when I moved up to the 20s, was Graham Murty. At the start, it was Graham Murty and Davy McCallum, and then Peter Lovencrantz came in, and Billy Kirkwood was there as well. So always had really good coaches, especially at reserves. That's where I felt like I really developed. And then, so I think the second year I was at reserves, I was captain that year. So I really learned a lot under those guys.
Yeah, and obviously, Cammy, you've been there, as you say, since Rangers hit financial troubles, and you've been there since through it all. So you were there through the Pedro Cachina era and Mark Warburton up to Steven Gerrard. What have you seen? What the biggest change around the club? Obviously, you've been there. So what have you seen as the biggest change?
The
structure of the club, or
I wouldn't say like a lot has changed. Obviously, like maybe some of the players come in, but I think especially since Gerrard has come in, like I think they've been a lot more competitive. Obviously, they're not going to go as soon as they got into the league. They weren't going to win straight away. It was obviously a process, but I felt like every year they were just getting closer and closer. And since Gerrard's come in, you've seen it. You saw it coming. Just how they train, just the training sessions, and the quality they brought in. So I wouldn't say like things were too drastic. I think it was just maybe some of the quality of players coming in, and obviously the manager coming has made a big difference.
Yeah. Now, obviously, for fans, obviously we want the Rangers to win the league and better players coming in. Do you think the better player coming in curtailed your chances?
Yeah, but as well at the same time, you're at Rangers, so they're going to bring in the best players. They're going to bring in top quality players. So you can't shy away from that. So for us, it was just a good opportunity just to train with even better players and grow even more. Because I think if there's a more competitive team and the quality's higher in the group, then it'll push everyone up. Especially us younger players coming into that training environment where you need to be kind of at your best to keep up with them.
Yeah, and for yourself, Cammy, how close did you come to getting in the first team, playing a competitive match?
I remember we were going up to Cowdenbeath. It was an away game, and I think it was a Scottish Cup. So I think I was in the squad for that, and I was going to be on the bench. I actually remember sitting beside Gareth McCauley on the way up. Because we're going to getting a pre-match before, and then we're going to the stadium. But I just remember chatting him through it, and was just really looking forward to finally getting to play. And I think we got to the hotel, and I think it was near the winter time, so I think where the pitch was frozen or something.
Right, I remember that,
waterlogged or something like that, and they called off the game. So they postponed it to the next week, and by that time I think I don't know if I think it was like Ryan Jack or a couple other centre mids came back from injury or were fit. So then they just kind of moved in. So I was pretty close to making my debut, but I played in a friendly actually against Helsinki, but I never got to make my competitive appearance. So yeah, that's hopefully maybe something I can come back to in the future.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, Cammy, one of the ones that's making the rave reviews now at Rangers is a bit younger than you, and that's Nathan Patterson. So obviously, you know Nathan Patterson well.
Yeah.
How good and how far can Nathan Patterson go?
I think it's as far as he wants to. He's been given an opportunity. He's also been a bit fortunate with Tavernier picking up an injury where he's come in and he's got an opportunity, but he's taken it well and he's obviously shown everyone what he's capable of.
Yeah,
He's got a bright future. Obviously, when I was younger, I didn't play with him as much because we were always the older year. But then, kind of moving into 17s and 20s, I played with Nathan and just saw him grow, especially mature a lot more as a player and as a person. And it's kind of more so the last couple of years where he's starting to break in. He started to break into like the first team with training and stuff.
yeah,
Um, and now obviously he's playing a lot and really just making a name for himself. So hopefully he can keep that up and he'll have a bright future for sure, no matter if he's at Rangers or wherever else.
yeah, yeah. And obviously, Cammy, Stephen Gerrard around the training ground. What's it like working under Stephen Gerrard?
Um, I think he just has an aura about him. He's
Yeah,
just whenever he comes in the room, everyone you know he's there, and everyone kind of yeah. So without really saying too much, he um, you know exactly where he is, and as well with training that helps because he has a presence about him. So guys want to work for him. Guys know that they want to give 100% for him because of who he is, of the coach he is, of all his knowledge, and um, it was great, and especially the other coaches as well. I don't think people really notice some of the other coaches that he has, and Mick Beale and Gary McAllister
yeah,
are great. Especially Mick Beale was phenomenal. That I really enjoyed working with Mick. He really taught me a lot, and he just knows football so well, and he's obviously been everywhere. So fair as well with Steven Gerrard, there was I enjoyed working with all those coaches.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, did Stephen Gerrard join in training for a game?
Yeah, a couple of times. I remember one time I was on his team, and I think I kept giving the ball away or something. 'Cause I was just under pressure because I wanted to try and impress him. But no, he still has it. He's obviously not as mobile as he maybe was 5-10 years ago, but he can still ping a ball
Yeah,
wherever. And he's definitely still got it. So
right. So, as obviously Rangers fan like myself, Cammy, what players or kids coming through? What names should we be looking out for?
to be honest,
No,
there's a lot of names. I think if a lot of guys got their opportunity, they'd like Nathan, they'd be able to show what they've got. But guys like that, especially Meyer and Stephen Kelly, Lewis Mayo, um, Josh McPake, Dapo Maboud. There's a massive list of guys. Um, that are obviously some are out on loan right now. Um, so hopefully they can give them their opportunity and really show what they've got because there's massive talent at
yeah,
Rangers right now.
yeah, good, good. Folks, if you're on the Facebook page, please like and share. If you're on Twitter, retweet. Keep the questions coming in. Obviously, I'll get through a few questions in a bit. Obviously, Cammy, you had a spell out in Orange County on
Yeah.
loan away from Rangers. Now, how did you find that in America? The football the standard.
Um, yeah, it was just because when the opportunity came up to go there, it was kind of I wasn't 100% sure if it would be the right one, but I think going out to Southern California and playing football and experience life over there, I couldn't really say no to it. So it was great. It was a lot better than I expected. I don't think American, so they call it soccer, gets the recognition or people don't understand how good some of the players and the levels are. It is obviously a bit different because for sometimes you're playing in like 40 degrees, 45 degrees heat. So the game can't be played like say over here or in Scotland where it's quite fast paced and high energy and things. So there's that side of it. But there's a lot of good quality players, and I learned a lot, especially just maturity wise, and just being out at the other side of the world with a pandemic going on, and just having to deal with all that. Mental side really helped me, so I loved it over there, and hopefully I can go back when everything's all open and properly see it.
Yeah, good. Few ex-Rangers players over there, Cammy?
Yeah. So Rob Kiernan and Harry Forrester are over there right now.
Right.
Because we knew Harry was over there. Because I also went over with two other Rangers boys, Daniel Finlayson and Matthew Shields. So we found out Rob was going over as well. And we Danny and me and Shieldsy knew Rob quite well. Just because he'd always come and chat to us when he was at Rangers.
Yeah.
So it was good for us because we knew someone, we can kind of connect with someone and reach out to them. So it was good. He kind of understood where we were coming from, and he was able to coach us to help us out, especially when we weren't training, which was quite tough mentally. So he was great, and he trained went to the beach a couple of times and trained, and he had like he's doing his own wee kids program over there, like a football school and stuff. Yeah. So he had all like the ladders and everything. So he was putting us through our paces.
Oh, good. And then obviously, you had a low move in Scotland as well, didn't you? Before you played.
Yeah. So I was at Partick Thistle before I went to Orange County. So from the July to January of 2019.
Yeah.
Or 2020 or no 2019. Yeah.
2019. Right. Yeah. Okay. And then Orange County, and then obviously after Rangers, saying it's a move across to Belfast to Linfield.
Yeah. Well, I was actually at Clyde for like from October to January, but I picked up an injury, so I only played a couple of times. But then, kind of spoke to Rangers, and they said they weren't going to give me another contract. So I think that it was good instead of like, because my contract was up in May. So instead of maybe waiting until April or March and telling me where I had only maybe a month or so to sort something out, it was good that they told me early. So I could find somewhere. But I think because they've got connections over with the Irish teams over here. So I think once they called it Linfield, they got back to them right away and said they were really interested. So it happened quite fast, actually. Yeah. Within like a couple of weeks, I was coming over here to play. So I didn't really have too much time to think about everything.
Yeah, okay. And obviously, Cammy, we spoke earlier on today, and one of the things you're telling me that gets you through and your life's focused on, that's your faith.
Yeah.
Okay, because your dad's a pastor, yeah?
Yeah, my dad's a pastor. So that's been one of the reasons why we've kind of moved so much. Obviously coming back was to be closer to family, but through my dad's work, he's kind of had different opportunities everywhere. But yeah, my faith is one of the most important thing in my life, and I wouldn't be able to have the opportunities. I don't think I would have been where I am without it. And it's really given me a real purpose and drive in my life, and not just through football, but through everything. So, and I've been quite fortunate to have just my family just there supporting me with it and encouraging me with it. It's one of the biggest things in my life.
And do you find many young footballers the same? as strong faith, or because usually a lot of young players with the attitudes have been party boys and
Yeah, I think it's like it's becoming more common, and I think guys are becoming more open with it. It can be quite hard because football is, like you said,
yeah,
is quite
yeah,
like a hard environment, quite partying, and you know it's hard when you're a bit different and um to the other guys, and especially when I was younger, I found it quite hard just kind of being open about it because some guys would kind of make jokes and stuff, or when you're younger, you don't want to be the odd one out. You want to
yeah,
kind of blend in with the group. But as I've got older, you kind of you understand that it's important to you, and that what
yeah,
guys say, if they have big jokes and stuff, it doesn't really matter. I think guys appreciate more just you being yourself and kind of standing up for what you believe in. So yeah, I'm always open about it, and I really enjoy being able to even chat to some of my teammates and stuff about their faves or their experiences, or
yeah,
even some of their questions. Because obviously football can be quite um, right now, see, even mental health is quite a big thing as well. So just even being able to chat to guys and just being open with guys is massive.
yeah. Obviously at Rangers, because I follow him on Instagram and all. The likes of Joe Aribo, he's a very strong faith.
Yeah,
Um, Calvin Bassey, Glenn Kamara.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I actually got along really well with Glenn Kamara, and we sometimes chatted about that. Um, but I was never really around with them enough to properly chat to them. But yeah, it's great even seeing that and having that wee group, and hopefully they can maybe chat to some other guys, and that it could be something that's very openly
yeah,
talked about. And but it's really encouraging to see, and
yeah,
um, yeah, I know especially in England it's big as well. Just knowing some guys um, over there.
yeah. Okay, okay. So obviously you've moved across to Belfast, and you will be going full time at Linfield, obviously next season, Cammy. But you are doing a university degree, open university degree,
Yeah,
and what's that in?
social psychology.
Wow, very good. You enjoying that?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I was just it's also just good to have something on the side. I think obviously my family and people close to me have always said to have a backup plan.
Yeah,
Just because obviously football doesn't last for your whole life. Um, and also it was just something I was really interested in, and I've always been interested in how society works, how people interact with different people, and personalities and things.
yeah,
So it looks at a lot of that, plus like a lot of different,
yeah,
really different things. But it's good. It keeps me busy, keeps my brain active.
yeah.
So I think it's like 6 years of that. So I'm into my second year right
Wow,
now.
very good, very good.
But no, I really enjoy that, and keeps me busy too.
Okay, well, we better get some questions in because my screen's starting to load. So here we go. So, folks, keep the questions coming in. I will get to them. It's from David Sales. Callie, how have you found life at Linfield, and what do you make of the standard of Irish League football?
Um, I've loved coming over here. It's been great for me, just especially just having a fresh start. Because obviously I've been on loan a lot of times and felt like I was always kind of maybe didn't do it, wasn't doing as well, or was always kind of coming back to Rangers where I wasn't really settling at a team. Um, but just starting new over here, and really getting to know the team, the league, the what the standards like. Obviously, hopefully get to know the fans a bit more, and when they're allowed to come back in.
Yeah,
But it's been great so far, and I've been quite fortunate to get as much game time as I have. I've um, unfortunately, some of the guys got injured, but for me, it just gave me an opportunity to show the gaffer why he brought me here, and why I think I'd deserve to be playing. So it's been great, and hopefully I can keep doing that. Obviously, there's still a lot of games left, and we've still got a league to go win. So yeah, the aim for us is just to go on from here and win the league. And also the standard of the league as well has been great. It's tough. Like every team's competitive. There's no easy game. Um, so that's the good thing, is that you kind of always have to be on your toes and be 100%, because all the teams are desperate to beat Linfield, especially.
Yeah. Obviously, forget about we chat about last night's result. One each. Was that the best result for Linfield? One each.
I think so. And I guess it's these kind of things we can't really control.
Yeah.
These results. So I think for us, kind of no matter how these results go, we still need to take care of our games, and if we can do that, then we'll be well on our way to winning. So, but I think so. I think it's good that these teams are playing each other, because it'll maybe widen the gap for us.
Yeah. Okay. Question from Rob McKelvey. How are you enjoying life at Linfield, and what players have helped you to settle in at the club, Cammy?
Again, like obviously, really enjoyed life at Linfield, and just getting to know the club more, knowing the history more, knowing the coaching and the players even more. I don't think there's been any single players that have helped me. I think everyone's been great over this time, and even in games, just even like the experience of guys like Jamie McGrew and Jimmy Gallagher, just like helping me through games and talking to me and encouraging me. Andy Waterworth, he's been great with me. I think they've all been really encouraging, and as well, like giving you a bit of banter. I think that's also important, because it kind of helps you settle in a bit more, be a bit more yourself around the guys. They're always winding me up, because I'm always getting my hamstrings massaged and stuff, saying I shouldn't be doing that at such a young age. I'm like a 30-year-old man. So no, for everyone's been great, and it's also been good living with one of the boys on the team that came over at the same time, Michael Newbury. So it's been great with him, just to get to know him, and just so that's. But I wouldn't say there's a single player that's.
Okay, well, you're on a bit banter. So there's one from Jamesy Robertson. You know Jamesy works for Linfield Media. You could have brushed your hair, Cammy. Give it a stick. Right, okay. One from Colin Thompson. Are you fond of Leeds?
Yes, I'm a massive Leeds fan. Obviously, growing up in York, Leeds was our team, and when my dad lived in Belfast, that was the team he supported. Because it was either between Man U, Liverpool, and Leeds, and all his friends supported Man U and Liverpool. So I think he just wanted to be a bit different and went for Leeds. And then ever since then, it stuck through the family. I think my oldest brother's. I think he's taken over as like the proper Leeds fan. So he has all the tops and things, and he makes sure that I'm always that I'm not liking any Man United posts or anything. Just Leeds United.
Okay, folks, if you're on the Facebook page, please keep sending the questions in, like and share. And if you're on Twitter, retweet, please, folks. Here's a good question from David Downs. Cammy, what's it like to play with Jimmy Mulgrew, and how much have you learned from him?
It's been great. He's obviously played at this level for a long time, and been so consistent. So I think, as much as from chatting to him, it's just watching him do what he does, especially on the pitch, how he carries himself. I think that amazes me, just how consistent he is all the time, and that's something I want to bring into my game. It's all good and well having maybe the odd good game, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't keep that up. And he's also kept that up for a long time. So I think just him leading by example. I've learned a lot just from just being around him, playing in midfield with him, just those kind of things. So he's helped me a lot, and obviously just trying to learn as much as I can from him, and just take it all in.
Okay. A question from William Blake. Who did you model your playing style on, and who was your footballing hero, Cammy?
Um, I don't know if I ever. I don't think I've ever really modeled myself off of a player. I love watching like Kante and I remember Scott. I love watching Scott Parker when he was younger. So a lot of like defensive midfielders and then Moussa Dembele was the guy played for Tottenham. I used to love watching him and some of these things, but I try to take wee bits from a lot of players. Used to watch just a lot of when I was at Rangers. I used to get all like the clips of just like different players. I was really close with the analyst, and I'd get him to send me loads of clips of midfielders, and
Yeah.
so like De Bruyne and Kante and Dembele and Wijnaldum and stuff.
Yeah.
So I try to take bits from everyone. I don't think I'm exactly like a player. I feel like I've kind of got bits of some players, but I never really like modeled my stuff on someone. But football hero, um, I'd never say I would really have like a football hero. Obviously, love watching players. I think one guy that stands out is Kaká. For who I kind of want to be, someone with his faith was obviously one of the biggest things in his life, and
Yeah.
he wasn't afraid to show it. And also for me, I've grown up being a Christian, in a football environment. People maybe think you're quite soft or you're never gonna maybe reach the heights because maybe not selfish enough or never kind of take it upon yourself. But you kind of prove that you can be a Christian and be one of the best players in the world. So I took a lot of confidence from that, and I'll say he's probably as close to a football hero that I would have. And
Yeah.
even just watching him and just seeing how he conduct himself off the pitch as well, and from the stories that people told about him, that's something I want people to see me as. And if I can have half the career he had, then I'm doing not bad.
Yeah. Good answer, Cammy. Something here from Stephen Hanna. It's not a question. This is not really a question, but Linfield fans will forgive anything as long as you give 100%, and you have done that every time you have played. So yeah, that's a compliment, Cammy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Question from Mark McLean. Cammy, what would you like to achieve with Linfield?
I think as many trophies as possible. I think, especially this year, the league's one of the most important things, but also the cup. And one big thing, obviously, the club's been wanting to do for over the last couple of years is get into Europe. I think that would be a huge accomplishment to get in the Champions League and the Europa League. I think just playing in European competitions and really just helping this club go to the next level. I think that would be a massive achievement, and then going further on from there. But yeah, just consistency each year, just winning league titles, cups, and hopefully kind of going far in Europe would be amazing.
Yeah, because obviously, Cammy, it's well known now. Linfield will be going full time from next
Yeah,
season, so you'll be going full time. Yeah, so that obviously will make a big difference.
I think so as well. Just because guys are training every day with each other, and um, you know you can really just help each other go to the next level. So I think that's an important thing for Linfield if they have aspirations to go
Yeah,
even, especially in Europe, even further. And I think it would definitely benefit the players and fitness levels and technique, tactically wise. You'll be able to work on a lot more stuff. So I think it'll really benefit the club and us as
yeah,
players.
yeah. Because what is training at Linfield twice a week,
So it's 3 times.
3 times a week?
But train at night just because there's some obviously part-time players and
Yeah,
things. So yeah, it'll be really good even just training in the mornings and just kind of get
yeah.
as many in
Okay,
a week.
okay. From Colin Stevenson. Cammy, how did you find the transition from Partick Thistle and Clyde to Linfield as far as style of football played?
Um, I think they're all very different. I think at Partick, it was a decent football, but we were under a lot of pressure, and it maybe wasn't the kind of football that we wanted to play. Clyde was a wee bit different. It was League One in Scotland, so it was a bit more direct. Sometimes we tried to play, but that league it's very direct, and a lot of teams play the same, so you can end up playing that. And then coming to Linfield, it's night and day because, well, especially at Partick and Clyde, we were kind of near the bottom. We were avoiding relegation, trying to stay up. So a lot of the times we were playing against teams who were more dominant, that were probably expected to win. So it's great at coming to Linfield, similar to Rangers, where every game you're expected to win. You get you're dominant. You get more of the ball. So it was quite a change, kind of coming, and especially at Orange County as well. They were kind of pushing for the top, but weren't like the top team. So it's great being part of a team that, similar to Rangers, that you want to win every week. There's they want to win league titles, and there's a pressure on you to do that every week, which is great, and it's helped me to keep my levels high, and team.
Yeah, obviously one from Marlene saying Larne are coming for you next year. So obviously a lot of money going, a lot of money being spent down in Larne.
Yeah.
Larne are full time too, aren't they? So
yeah.
They are.
Obviously, when Larne opened their stadium, I think I played in the game with the reserves against them.
That's right. Yeah.
So they're going. There's a lot of teams now full time, and it seems like with those teams, the league's getting a lot stronger. And obviously playing them at the weekend, they showed their quality and what a tough team they are to play against. So they'll definitely be for however long be very competitive in this league, and as well as other teams who are full time. And
well, it makes for a better league.
Yeah, it makes it more competitive, and the quality gets even better each year.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is one of your teammates, Matthew Clark. Are you growing a beard?
Because trying to.
Clarky's been on the podcast, so he has. So obviously, he was at Rangers, Clarky. So
yeah, I think he might have been at Rangers when I was younger, but obviously I didn't really chat to any of the other guys. I was a bit scared of the older guys, so he might have been one of those guys. He is a bit scary, to be fair.
Who, Clarky, is he?
So I was probably trying to avoid him.
Yeah, he's a good guy, isn't he?
Yeah,
good guy.
He's all right.
Yeah. Okay, so question, Colin Stephen: who was the best player in your family growing up?
Probably gonna get a lot of stick for this if I don't. For all three of us played. So my dad was a coach of my brother's team and my middle brother's team. So my older brother's Chris, middle brother's Phil. Middle brother's 5 years older, and older brother's 7 years older. So obviously when I was younger, they would have been a lot better than me. But I think now I've overtaken them a wee bit. I think they still say they still think they can take me, but when older brother was really younger, Chris, he was great, but he kind of chucked it a wee bit. He's got a bit of a belly now, so.
Very good. Right. Okay. So, folks, if you keep the questions coming in, obviously we'll ask a few more. We've only got another 15 minutes, so we'll ask a few more. If you're on the Facebook page, I want to see us like and share, and if you're on Twitter, retweet. Obviously, Cammy, working under David Healy, how does that fare for you?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Obviously, being a Leeds and Rangers Northern Ireland legend, that's something I wanna follow in the footsteps of playing for those big clubs. And No, he's been great with me. He's always been honest, and he's really took care of me, especially coming over and not because the League One, this Scottish League One league got postponed for like a month before I came. So I hadn't played any football for a while and was just kind of doing my own fitness things. So I think if he'd put me in too early or kind of done that, I could have been injured and it could have been bad for me. So he took care of me and he's been great with me so far. So just looking forward to continue to work with him next week.
Yeah. So you have a good question from Stephen Hanna. Have you experienced a Healy temper loss yet?
Yeah, I think a couple games, we've not been at it, which I think which we deserved. We needed a bit of a rocket up the backside. So but it's always, I feel like he always does it to get a reaction because we deserve it, because maybe we're not performing as well, or so it's never out of it's always because of a reason just for us.
Yeah. Okay. Question from Nancy Hamilton. Who has been your toughest player to play against, Cammy?
Is this just in general?
It must be in general, yeah.
Well, when I was at Partick, we played Celtic in the cup at Celtic Park. So to I could probably name a lot of those players, but Callum McGregor or Tom Rogic. It's just you can't get near them. You go to press them and they play a 1-2 around you, and you sit off them and they pick out a pass, and so there's no winning really. So I think maybe Callum McGregor or Tom Rogic, just the pace they play at and just their quality is probably the toughest I've come against, and that really helped me. I learned a lot, and that was 90 minutes chasing after them.
Yeah. Obviously, if that's your toughest player, but if I was to say, who have you had a game against? You thought, I'm glad that's over, as in going in heavy.
Well, like tackle, like toughest, like tackle.
Yeah. A game you thought, oh, I'm glad that's over, or somebody you lined up and went, oh, here we go again. You know what I mean?
To be fair, I don't think there's ever been anyone really that have in terms of tough, that I've come up against that's been really physical and stuff with me. Obviously there's the odd guys. I obviously played against Scott Brown and things, but he only came on for 20 minutes.
Right.
But to be honest, there's not really been many times where someone's been super physical with me, and I've it's more just been their quality on the ball, where I've just been run rings around and just not been able to get a finger on them. So it's more been that than a physical just battle.
Who obviously you trained with the Rangers first team. Who been the best trainer then at the Rangers first team?
To be fair, there's so many quality players, and Ryan Kent and Ryan Jack and Stephen Davis, but I think one guy that always stood out was Ryan Jack. Always just every training session he was the best player. He was the most quality. It was just you could just see his hunger. He'd be someone I'd love to just chat to, just to pick his brain, just to see how he keeps that consistent levels. Because when he's been playing this year, obviously he's had a few injuries, and last year he's so consistent. So I'd love to just know how he keeps that consistency. And in every training session, he was a player, and someone I tried to take a lot of notes.
Yeah. So Linfield, who would be the best trainer?
To be honest, I put myself up there.
Yeah.
That's something I try to do. I try to be the hardest worker. Michael Newbury as well. He's always up there. I think we're both just like, also we both hadn't played football for a while, so we're just desperate just every time we train just to give everything. There's some guys that are, it depends which day it is. But I put myself up there.
Yeah. Yeah. What's Clarky like as a trainer?
He's good, to be fair.
Is he?
I'm not really training with him as much, but he's a decent trainer. He sometimes slackens off a wee bit, but just give him. Sometimes I give him a few bumps and it gets him going again.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah, he's a good trainer.
Right, this question from Stephen Patton. How many games have you played for Linfield, and how many fixtures now remain? Obviously,
I think I've played about 9 or 10 games.
Right.
Including just games that have come off the bench. And I think there's 7 games left.
7 games.
I think a couple games before the split, and then it's 5 games after the split.
Yeah. Okay. So, question from Mark McLean. Cammy, what's the best bit of advice you would give to a young player trying to make a step up from the 18s and 20s to the top team at Linfield or somewhere else?
I think just believe in yourself and is a big thing. Having confidence in yourself. I think that's one thing growing up, which I kind of battled with, which I found quite hard, is really just maybe being a bit selfish sometimes, and just backing yourself. Because if you don't have confidence in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, then no one else is going to do it for you. And I think to go to the top, you need that. Obviously, a big part is working hard and just doing that wee bit extra, and making sure that you're the best trainer, the hardest worker every day, and just because it doesn't come by chance. It doesn't just happen to you. You need to put the work in. You need to do the extra yards. You need to be disciplined. You need to let go of things. You need to maybe sacrifice some things, because that's what it comes with. Football doesn't just come to you. It's a sacrifice. So a big thing is believing in yourself and believing that you can get there, because if you don't, then no one else will do it for you.
Yeah. Okay. One from William Windsor saying, looking at you, at what supporters are saying, you have a look of a young Jimmy Mulgrew. Wow. So they are. I mean, Jimmy's been at Linfield for how many years now? Hundreds of games.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hundreds of games.
Yeah. So, I mean, to have the career Jamie's had, then that would be great. So, but obviously, I feel like I'm my own player too. So, kind of becoming me as well, not maybe becoming other kinds of players. But just having bits like Jamie definitely can take and help me go to the next level.
Yeah, okay. We'll take a couple of more questions and that's it, folks. So one from Louise Keane. Who's your favourite Leeds player currently?
That's a great question. Probably say Calvin Phillips. I think he's just quality. Obviously, he's getting an England recognition now and showing them what he's got. So probably Calvin Phillips. I think he's been really consistent this year, and he's obviously similar position to me. Also, obviously Stuart Dallas as well,
Yeah, good.
who's
Northern
this year
Ireland.
he's probably been Leeds' most consistent player this year, and especially recently he's done not bad, scoring 2 goals at Man City. So those two are probably my favorite ones, and especially from even where they came from, and just how hard they've worked to get to where they are. Um, Kind of gives me confidence as well. But those guys are definitely my favorite.
Yeah, okay. Good question from Luke Harland. Cammy, if you weren't playing football, what would you be doing?
Oh, definitely not what he's doing.
Oh, do you know him? Yeah,
Yeah, as a
yeah.
family from Canada. I'd probably do something in like counseling or psychology, maybe something in sports psychology or something. I'm always quite interested in just seeing how people think, how it can help people and stuff. So maybe along those lines. I always wanted to do physio when I was younger, but I probably maybe sports psychology would be pretty interesting.
Yeah. You say Luke's from Canada? Yeah.
Yeah, he's over
That
at
will.
he's in Oxford right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look. You need to share this page to Canada so everybody can see it. Yeah. You make sure he does that, Cammy. Obviously, Cammy, for the future going forward, I know it's early days at Linfield, but I mean, like obviously, you're ideally you want to go get back to playing football in England or Scotland, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think just going to the highest level I possibly can, and
Yeah.
really just pushing myself. So wherever that may be. So to be honest as well, I'm not looking too far ahead. Because football things can change so quickly. So I'm just grateful for being able to play right now, especially in this with the pandemic going on and being here, and just focusing on just where I am right now.
Yeah. Okay. Um, if there's any, I'll take one more question, folks. If somebody fires one on quickly, we've only got Cammy for another 4 minutes. So if you want to do another question, feel that. There you are, Cammy, and the questions coming in. Obviously, you're sharing a house with you said Michael Newbury, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Question in. So, who's your favorite player in Rangers history? Uh, regards from Chile, Seb Rosenthal land. So Seb Rosenthal always was a player at Rangers.
Yeah.
He was on this podcast. So
Actually, I think I played with him. I played in a Legends game, a Rangers Legends game,
okay.
and I think he was on my team.
Right. Okay. No,
Uh,
okay.
but so favorite player in Rangers history. Wow, there's been a fair few players. Um, hmm. Maybe Barry Ferguson.
Barry Ferguson. Yeah.
He obviously just what he did at the club, just his mentality, obviously some very important goals he scored for the club too, and winning league titles and things. Obviously a big one. Like even just the way he played, he was always so consistent and was the main man for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Last two questions, and this is what from David Downs. So he's asking, what was it like to play in the Legends in Walters 11 v Ali's 11? That's obviously the game you're.
Yeah, I was actually quite. I scored in that game, so it was just great to just play alongside such legends. I think even just you don't really realize how good these guys were until you really understand like their careers and you get to know them and things. But it was just an honor to share the pitch with them because some of the things those guys achieved were unbelievable, and still a lot of them could have still played. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was great, and I've just even been in the changing with them all and hearing all the stories, and obviously growing up in Canada, I didn't know as much about Rangers, so it was good to to really get to know more about these guys that were so influential in Rangers' history.
Yeah. Okay. And this is the last one. Cam, is from Jamie McGarry, who you know. Is your dad looking forward to getting to a Linfield game?
Yeah, he's buzzing. I think he would have been to as many games as possible if things weren't the way they were. But I think even just my family and girlfriend and my best friend's actually a big Rangers fan, and he follows Linfield too. So he's been talking about getting over since I signed. So I think everyone's looking forward to it. So hopefully we can get fans in before the end of the season. If not, hopefully next year. It'd be good to kind of get everyone along.
Okay, well, we'll not leave this. One last question, Cammy. Okay, it's from Jackson McLean. It's a good question. What has been the biggest setback in your career so far, and how did you deal with it?
Um, I've been quite fortunate, obviously, not to have any major setbacks. I feel like I've had a lot of maybe minor setbacks and um, maybe not playing or being injured, um, or maybe just confidence wise not playing too well. But I think whenever these setbacks come, that's why I think my faith is so important because obviously football's so up and down, and there's so many different things that can happen, and injuries and not playing well. But I think having something secure in a relationship with Jesus helps me just to be steady and not be too up and down with these things, and helps me have like a clearer focus on what's important in my life. And obviously football is important, but that's the most important thing, and that's something that's not going to be altered by a mistake or losing a game or being injured or not being in the best of form. So that helps me stay grounded and stay steady, and just helps me get through these tough times, as well as enjoying the high moments in my life.
Yeah. Okay, Cammy. Okay, Cammy. Well, that's an hour. You've given us your time, so been brilliant having you on, mate. Thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for all the questions everyone
Yeah,
sent through.
yeah, no problem. Cammy, if you just stay there, I'll speak to you whenever we're finished. Okay, I'll take you off now. All right, Cammy. Thank you. Okay, folks. So there you have it. Cammy Palmer from Linfield. I hope you all enjoyed it. What a nice guy he is, young Cammy. Folks, obviously this Friday night we've got a Bars for Bears podcast with a few bars on, Rangers bars, plus a director from a mental health charity back on side be joining us on Friday night. Next Tuesday, folks, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, it's Trevor Stephen, ex-Ranger, Everton, England International, Trevor Stephen. Trevor lives in Dubai now. He'll be joining us on next Tuesday night. Loads of other podcasts coming up, folks, with other players. But what I need you all to do is like and share the page. I need to see a few hearts and a few thumbs up for the page, but share the page. And if you're on Twitter, folks, please retweet it. And I hope you all enjoyed it, folks. So catch us later, folks. Good night.